Greetings, fellow moviegoers, and welcome back to Movie Central, the place to talk about movies, TV shows based on movies, toys based on movies, games based on movies, and rides based on movies. I'm your host, Mr. CCS, and this is my pet gorilla, George. What? What's with the silence? Oh, it's my appearance, isn't it? Well, I can fix that. There, I'm back to normal. Over 1 month of not reviewing movies can get me stressed and bored, so I grew out a mustache and longer hair, but I'm back now. So let's get back into the swing of reviewing. Let's talk about the Walt Disney Company. Founded in 1923 by brothers Walter Elias Disney and Roy Oliver Disney, Disney was a company specializing in animated comedies with their starring character Mickey Mouse taking over several cartoon fans' hearts since 1928. The Disney empire has spanned for generations and now contains several other big-name franchises like Star Wars and Marvel. But back in the 20th century, they strived to make animated films based on several books that Walt Disney fell in love with. Their first animated feature-length film would be based on the fairly dark story by the Brothers Grimm about a princess who was poisoned by an evil queen and taken care of by 7 short men. The tale was turned into a much more friendly but still dark at times animated film that won over several critics at the time, even winning this obscure Academy Award in 1938 for Best Original Score. But after nearly 85 years, does the movie still hold up? It's time to find out. This is Walt Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Loosely based on the famous fairy tale by the Brothers Grimm, the plot is set into motion when a vain, wicked queen, voiced by Lucille Laverne, consults her magical mirror, voiced by Maroni Olson, and learns that her beautiful stepdaughter, Snow White, voiced by Adriana Castellotti, is now the fairest in the land. Instantly resentful, the queen enlists a woodsman, voiced by Stuart Buchanan, to murder Snow White, but he cannot commit the act and exhorts the young girl to escape. In the forest, Snow White discovers a cottage inhabited by 7 eccentric dwarfs, voiced by Pinto Colvig, Billy Gilbert, Otis Harlan, Scotty Matraw, and Roy Atwell, who warmly welcome her into their home after she offers to cook and clean for them. The queen eventually learns of Snow White's whereabouts and, disguising herself as an old hag, fatally poisons her stepdaughter with a tainted apple. The heartbroken dwarves stand guard over the girl's body until a handsome prince, voiced by Harry Stockwell, restores her life with a kiss. Man, that's a lot of story. I really did need a well-deserved break from reviewing movies. Anyway, the story is pretty accurate to the original tale and plot, and I thoroughly enjoyed the journey from the beginning and to the end. But you know that's in my nature to talk about basic points of the story, so let's do so. Let's start with the characters. Snow White was really well done. I mean, she's just a young girl who wants to follow her love throughout life and love animals. But she's in for a rude awakening because her stepmother is one evil queen, and I do admittedly feel sorry for Snow when she breaks down crying in the beginning. Jesus Christ, that forest creeps me out. The dwarves are also great. I love how Doc stumbles on his words, and I also thoroughly enjoy watching Grumpy warm up to Snow White. The others have their basic development and personalities. Dopey is the sweetest of the group, and they deliver that wonderfully without any dialogue whatsoever freaking ever. Bashful, Sneezy, Happy, and Sleepy aren't as memorable, but they are charming in their own way. As for the prince, he only has 2 scenes, and he's barely have any development. But at least he was able to save Snow White in the end, right? Yeah, I'm not a fan of his character progression at all. He's just sort of used as a plot device, isn't he? Whatever, he's just a weak character, that's all. As for the villain, the Evil Queen is a great place to start. I love how she wants Snow White's heart in a box, but she's just ruthless and just plain disgusting. I also love how she turns into an old hag or witch, as many have called her, and her demise is well deserved. And she pulls off many evil things that you just want to see her die, and what a way to go out. The Evil Queen is by far the best of the main characters in this movie, and one of Disney's best villains. Although, would you be surprised that none of these characters are my favorite? Shocker, right? Heck, not even the huntsman is my favorite. My favorite is a turtle whose name is Toby. His one character trait is that he's slow and clumsy, but he made me laugh every time, which is why he was my favorite character. Feel free to come at me in the comments if you think differently. Okay, that's enough about the characters. Let's talk about the animation in this film. Well, I love the animation in this film. Despite coming out many years ago, the animation is still great, with amazing backgrounds, great character animation, and so much more. Definitely one of the briskier animated films of the 1930s, isn't it? Well, yes. As for the music and songs, Lee Harline, Paul Smith, Frank Churchill, and Edward H. Plum composed the soundtrack and wrote the music. The music can have cheeriness, urgentness, scariness, sadness, and triumphantness. And the songs are really nice to listen to. My favorite is obviously Hi Ho, but I love My Prince Will Come, as it makes me think of a certain wonderful girl in my life, as well as the silly song. So, if you were wondering, yes, this film really is good. With great animation, mostly great characters, a great story, and a great soundtrack. This is definitely a movie to show your kids. The only negatives that this film has are the prince and the really rushing to the climax. But other than that, this is a really good movie, which earns a 9 out of 10 from me. Definitely worth a wish from the wishing well. Well, that's it for this review. What are your thoughts on Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? Feel free to leave your comments on the movie below, and tune in next week when I take a look at the wooden boy who can't lie. With that said, my name is Mr. CCS, this is Movie Central, and that, my friends, is a wrap. I'll catch you all next week, and welcome back.